before we get started, make sure you like and subscribe and turn on that bell notification so you know when we upload. Welcome to Rugby Heads, powered by the Peak Athletic Club, where we cover all things in the world of rugby. If this is your first time joining us, or if you're a regular here and haven't done so yet, please show your support by hitting that like and subscribe button and leave a comment and let us know your thoughts on the current hot topic in world rugby. Now, today's show, we start off with our try or no tries and top performers of the week before we cover Super Rugby round 13 and preview and predict the action coming up in round 14 before we dive into the final game of round 1 of the Pacific Force series and finish off with our viewers' questions. My name is Sione, and joining me is our ring-in Tino Masese, and he's back, one of our regulars, Alex Ansai. Welcome, boys. Welcome.
Thank you for having me again.
Thank you. Now, try or no try. We'll start off with our tries for the week. Something that's gone on through the week that was a try, before we go into the negatives of offside or no try, mitigating factors. Now, Alex, what was your try for the week?
Look, I'm going to go personal. Probably try, because we haven't been on for 2 weeks, is try is club rugby and special moments like being able to present one of your good mates his 100th game cap. And Nathan Russell, Pac Barber star, got to present his cap to him, and there was a few dry eyes for the most of the speech, and then we couldn't look each other in the eyes at the end. And then, but it's nice, club rugby's a big part of my life, but I think it's a big part of people that listen to this life. And I think club rugby is back, and it's in full swing now. I think it always takes a couple of weeks, bit of teething. No, like a lot of lower graders aren't happy to be back, but big try, club rugby, all the club rugby.
Yeah, great to see Russ get his 100. If he didn't get injured, he probably would have been up to 200 by now. But so shout out to our mate Russ. Now, Tino, any tries of the week?
Look, just speaking on club rugby, I think one of the best products come out of this now. Maybe he's going to make his debut for the British Lions, and that's Sione Tuipulotu.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, mine was similar. My try of the week is the British and Irish Lions, the NFL-like draft squad announcement. The chat was a little bit boring when I tuned in, but the way they, when they get their names announced and the sort of environment when they find out, most of them were still in their club and had all their club teammates around them. So it was good. And hopefully the Wallabies do something similar. I know the All Blacks, when they do their squad announcement for the year, that first initial one, there's a bit of hoodoo about it. But so hopefully we do something. If not, then we'll just keep it secret, keep it to yourself. And then offside or no try. What was something that was a bit how you going?
So this week, North was defending the Sir Rodden Cutler Shield, which for most people that don't know, it's the Ramfairley Shield and the Super Us and the ITM Cup. And as club captain, we won it last week, and it was Russ's 100th. So I tucked it under my arm as we left the pub and went back to one of the boys' houses and put it on his shelf and said, make sure we bring this next week. And that bloke was former first grade captain Harry Bury. And if people don't know, Harry Bury usually holds most of our trophies from North, and we don't have a clubhouse, so all the trophies usually go to Bizzard. Anyway, we've left it there, and then someone said to me on Saturday, when's the last time you saw the Shield? I go, about 5 o'clock when I left Bizzard's house on Sunday morning last week. And this is 10 minutes into first grade, and Biz is the second grade coach now, for our backs coach, and he runs water for first grade. And anyway, you had to Biz on the sideline between water, running on the water. I go, Biz, where's the fucking Shield? He goes, I thought he was taking the piss. It was still at his house, which luckily we're playing in North Sydney. It was only a 10-15 minute drive home, but he's chucked me his keys. I've fanged it down to his house and just got it back just in time for the second half. Turns out we didn't need to worry too much because we didn't have to give it back to Ramwick. Sucked in, Dave. But yeah, look, I think that pretty much sums up club rugby. If we've had the same theme, but yeah, no try to Biz for forgetting it. But also, big try for Biz because he always hosts the boys post-match, post-pub, and early into the early hours of the next morning.
Yeah, shout out Biz. Coach Biz, sorry, respectful. Coach Biz.
Yeah.
Tino, any no tries for you?
Look, I've only got one no try, and that's going to the selectors for the Wallaroos. Look, I'm a big fan of the game, and I love the game. But starting Ash Masters on the bench against the Black Ferns, a strong Black Ferns game. Look, you saw what she brought to the field when she came on. Yeah. And look, there is no hate towards the back rower, but she's the most experienced. and she's the most highly skilled. And like for 7 days out of the week, I'll pick Ash Masters as my 7 or my 6. I know you got Palu there at 6, but I'll pick her wherever in that back row because that's what they need. And that is my no try. I just thought if she started, could have been a lot closer gap than what we saw on the weekend. Obviously, the Black Ferns came out firing. You can't give the Black Ferns a little sniff because that's what you get.
Yeah, mate, yes. It's weird seeing Tino this fired up. So, I was thinking the same thing, and Ash Masters probably, you could see a bit of anger, maybe. I'm putting it out there when she came on, and man, she played out. So definitely we'll probably see her starting next week against the Americans, but we'll get into that in the Pack 4 segment. Mine is similar to Tino's on women's rugby. The last 2 years we've had the Wallaroos versus Black Ferns here in Queensland. Redcliffe, we were there that Thursday night, and it's still the record for the most attended game, Wallaroos in Australia, with just under 8,000 in that 10,000 seated stadium at Redcliffe. And then they had a Ballymore Sunday last year, which was also great. Decent turnout. There was no club rugby on the Sunday. And then this year, just the weekend just gone, they had it 3 p.m, prime time club rugby. Not only the people in Newcastle that play rugby union couldn't get out, but everyone from Sydney that could have made the trek down, couldn't make it out too. So, it wasn't a good look. It would have been perfect today to have it on Sunday, keep it on Sunday where, hangover Dave can, wake up sorry after going on one in Alex in the group chat after they lost to Norths, and then show up and shake hands, say sorry at the Wallaroos game, but it wasn't to be. It wasn't a great turnout, and I think it was just the organisers not reading the room. It also didn't work when the Wallabies did it on a Saturday 3 p.m. mid Clubland season last year. So I think they should need to, if there's Clubland, don't put it on that time. So please read the room. That was my no try of the week.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Now, enough of the negatives. Top performer of the week. Let's show some love. Alex, who caught your eye on the week?
I hate being this biased, but I'm just going to do it, even though it's not pro league. I just want to give him a shout out. And I think this is a performer. He's got to be almost rookie of the year in the Shoot Shield, and it's Marshall Lamate. That makes him sound Islander when he's probably French background. But anyway, mate, Marshall's 18. He plays open side flanker for North, and you would not know this kid's 18. He is a machine, mate. If he's not a Waratah / Wallaby in the years to come, I'll eat my hat. I think he is, mate. I've not seen anyone like him at his age, and to be dominating as much as he is as an 18-year-old fresh out of school, straight into the Shoot Shield, it's pretty outstanding. He's probably the Form 7 of the comp, I reckon. And, mate, we talk pro rugby on here a bit, but I just think that's an earmark him for the future. Good kid, got enough. He can take a bit. He came with some new jeans to the game the other week and got absolutely rinsed, and he took it on the chin. So, Marshall, mate, I think it's keep his name in the back of your mouth and be ready to watch him in a green and gold jersey in the years to come. Yeah,
it's normally Ironside always talks about Norths, but yeah, I'll go back this one. I've seen him play this year, and mate, where is he in the academy system at the Tars, or?
Yeah, so he's in the academy system at the Tars, but and he did pre-season there. But he actually had Les Kiss flew him up to the Reds. He sat down with NRL offers on the table. We had all this stuff on the table, but he decided to stay in rugby union. He went to Shaw, which is kind of a feeder school for ours. And Angus Sinclair, former 10 for North, is the head coach at Shaw. So there's a bit of backdoor there. But, mate, pretty easy for a kid like that to go get an NRL deal and make some good cash. But he stayed and he's stuck in Sydney instead of going to Queensland. So, mate, yeah, I think he's definitely one to watch.
Yeah, nice, good shout. And go check. Make sure you keep checking out Club Rugby Stars of Tomorrow on Stan. Now, Tino, who was your top performer of the week?
My top performer of the week was Tom Robinson from the Force.
Oh, okay.
But I think with the Lions coming over, they're going to play a European type of footy. So I think, he's been putting in big minutes. He's consistent. He's been consistent throughout the year. He's in my fantasy team, so I know. But yeah, Tom Robertson, even though they lost on the weekend, sad to see. I hope Noah's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game I thought could have gone either way if they had a full strength team to force. But yeah, it is what it is.
True. Good shout. And he's probably had the best season of his life after going on a gap year to study in England last year. So, and he can play on both sides of the scrum. So he'll definitely be there again in the Wallabies squad. My one, who I'm hoping this guy is going to make it into the Wallabies squad. He's a newly Aussie 2 years ago. He's just came back from injury for the Tars in a losing side. You can tell they missed him the last few weeks. I raved on about him last week. 23 tackles, no misses, 3 turnover wins against Queensland. Charlie Gamble, friend of the pod, and also looks like he's also debuted something himself. A sneaky little debut in his post. It's nice to see him getting the off-field sorted as well, and look like he's hopefully on-field. And Coach Joe Schmidt and the boys at the Wallabies can hopefully get him an invite if he keeps his form up for the last few games. If they make the top 6, it'll be even greater for them. But we'll get into that now. Super Rugby, round 13, debrief. We're not going to go through every game. We just want to get your key takeaways. Alex, what are your takeaways from round 13?
I think the big takeaway from me from round 13, it's smaller round of fixtures, I guess, but I think the Chiefs are the team to beat, obviously, but I think it's their competition to lose. I think that was a fairly dominant performance over a pretty decent Crusaders side. So I think it's the Chiefs comp to lose, and I think the only team that I think might be able to beat them just because they play a different style of rugby, and this might sound pretty out there, but I think the Brumbies can beat the Chiefs on their day. I don't think the Crusaders have what they take to win the comp over the Chiefs.
Ooh.
Just from what I saw last round, I could eat my hat, but I make some bold predictions. And I said the Blues were going to win the comp last year before their season started, and I was right. So I'm going to say that the Crusaders don't have what it takes to beat the Chiefs in the finals.
All right. Good call.
Big call.
I thought the Crusaders were in the first 20. I thought, okay, this is going to be a flogging. Crusaders going to get it, and then Will Jordan went off. I think that might have been the key for that little turnaround. So we'll see. We'll see come finals time. Hopefully, Will Jordan's not out long term. But mate, the Chiefs did turn it on. It was scary to watch, and it was a great game too. So make sure you check that out and Stan. Not sponsored, but hopefully soon to be sponsored. Any more takeaways on this before we go to Tindall?
I just think that the Waratahs are just. I think if the Waratahs can sneak in the top 6, I think they could create a few little headaches for some teams. But yeah, they just. I mean, I'm talking about the teams I love, obviously, but yeah, I think if they can just sneak in that top 6, I think they've got a shot to. You always hope they can win it, but.
Yeah. All right, let's look at their run home. So you can have a bit of confidence. They got Crusaders at home next week before they go on the road. Force and Blues. I think they need to win 3 to cement that spot, and then or 2.
They're pretty good at home this year. They're a different team at home other than last week.
You already rubbished the Crusaders. Do you think they're going to get the Crusaders next week?
I think they'll get the Crusaders.
Yep.
I think if not, Will Jordan's not playing, then that's a key.
Force away?
I think Force away is always tough, but I think they can beat the Force.
And then Blues away.
Never say die. They've only, there's a lot of teams around their same little points.
Okay. If you're a Tars fan watching this, there's no confidence in that support group, so hopefully someone else can bring some love to the Tars.
I just want them to sneak it in. I think they're a different. I think they can. If they sneak in, you never know.
Yeah. I won't get into double entendre. Tino, what was your takeaway?
I give my hat off to the Tars. I think if they didn't lose Joseph, they're certainly in that game to win. But obviously, the Reds do what they do, and they play scramble. 5 minutes, 10 minutes to go before full time. They pull it out the magic hat, and that's what they do. They've been consistent at it. And I'm going to say, but that was the Tars' game to lose. Obviously, I think the Crusaders and Chiefs games. I thought the Chiefs caught the Crusaders napping it right after halftime, and that's where they blew like Leroy Carden.
Oh, bro.
There's no more to say. There is no more to say. I left him off my arm. My fantasy team due to last week's performance.
Hey, I thought you said no more to say, but you carry on. No, carry on.
But yeah, just to see the Blues come back, they were ninth 2 weeks ago on the ladder. Now they're sitting at fifth spot. So, it is we're kicking the corner here in the horse race. So it's whoever can kick the fastest to the finish line. I think that's the kind of race we have.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I don't know who's going to lift the cup this year. Yeah, we've got favourites. We've got favourites, but it's still a race.
Yeah, it's heating up.
Competition going on.
Like Tino said, that corner, it's heating up, that corner to the finish line here to make that top 6. Any more takeaways?
No, that was it.
Oh, nice. Just one piece of takeaway there. My takeaway, Tars, I think given the keys, Tane on the weekend, I think they need to keep him there for the run home. Give the boys some confidence. Give that combination time in the saddle. I think Gordon's back to his best. He had one game back after half a game in Shield the other week, and then I thought he was one of their best on the weekend against. I thought they could have kept him on the field maybe for a little bit longer, but yeah, Tars. I think they need to give Tane the keys to try and get him on that run home, and then Fezler. Fezler's out. Pariki just come back from injury. Wallabies need some hookers. I think the Reds hooker and Pac Barbar's Richie Asiata. He's been flying up the try scorers list off the back of mauls and quick little rucks from 5 meters out. And I think he's pushing for a Wallaby bolter and might possibly be our first Pac Barbar Wallaby. So Richie Asiata, don't sleep on our boy Richie from the Reds. Now let's go in.
Sorry, just one more. I did have one more. It slipped my mind. It was good to see Tualima run it off the back fence.
Oh yeah,
that's what we need to see more often. I know Harry Wilson does it, but it was just good to see another player do it.
Yeah,
and making it exciting.
Yeah, it was also good to see the Reds, the coaching box at the end there. Looked like our future Wallaby coach really wanted that, and all the boys cheering in the coach's box, especially over the Tars. Good to see the Reds.
It makes me excited the way that the Reds play, and that's going to be our Wallabies coach.
Yeah.
I know Schmidt we trust currently, but I think it's going to be a nice little transition from Schmidt to Les.
Yeah.
And he's a fucking good bloke, so, we need good blokes.
Yeah, shout out to our future Supreme Leader. Now, let's get into the action. Last week, we went 0-4 on our multi. I think that's the first time we've gone with no picks, thanks to Nems and JT. I'm going to put it on them. Now, Hurricanes hosting the Highlanders. Hurricanes fresh off the bye. Alex, who's going to win and what's the margin?
I think the Canes, like in one of those teams that they're sitting on the precipice of finals, and I think they're a better side than where they probably are at the moment. I mean, when they're on their day, they could be the best. I think that coming off a bye, a few of those players probably need a rest. They've had a few tough games leading into it. I think the Canes have got to be 13 plus.
Yeah.
I think for the Canes' sake, they need to, and I just think the Highlanders have kind of dropped off the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, true. I'm with Lex on that one. I'm going 13 plus as well. Tino, you riding as well?
Yeah, I'm riding the Canes on this one. I think we're getting all their players back now towards the end of the season. I think it's Canes, and Highlanders. Love the Highlanders, but it's a bit too late. Yeah,
but I think the Highlanders will definitely be out to ruin someone's run for the top 6. Hopefully it's not this week because we do love the Hurricanes. We'll lock in the Hurricanes 13 plus. Now, Lex, your boys against the Crusaders said the Tars are going to get it done at home in Sydney. Yeah. I think their last home game before the finals. Are they going to do it? And what's the margin?
Well, I just checked I was just checking the weather forecast, and it's looking like it's going to be a pretty wet week in Sydney, and that usually that new stadium does not deal with water very well. However, Friday night game, I guess, can be a bit like Suncorp in a way. Lots of the Waratah supporters aren't too far from the city, so I think there'll be a fair few RM Williams getting out there, plenty of Ralph Lauren. I think the Tars can actually get this done 1-12. I think they've probably got more to play for. I think the Crusaders, obviously, in the finals. That was a pretty tough game for them last week. They got bashed up. I actually think you're right about the Will Jordan thing. I think early in the week, I'll call 1-12. If Will Jordan plays, then it's going to be tough to not see the Crusaders win. So that's my excuse next week if we don't get up 1-12.
All right, Waratahs 1-12. Tino, are you riding or are you going to go the other way?
Look, I'm going the other way. I'm backing Crusaders here 1-12.
Yeah.
I think just because they are the Crusaders and they do need to redeem themselves a little bit after last week's performance, I think they're coming with the point to prove. And I think the Waratahs are just underdone without Joseph Swirly.
Okay.
He is the game changer for the Waratahs, and I don't see the Tars picking this game up.
All right. So it's on me here. I'm going to go with my heart and go with Lex here. I think the Tars got it done in wet weather conditions against the Brumbies earlier in the season. They're at home. This is where they play their best footy. I think they get it done. I think the Tars get it done might even be super extra point time. So we're going to go with the Tars 1-12. And that's a reminder, make sure you bet responsibly. We went 0-4 last week. So, yeah, just read the room and don't be stupid. But
I wonder, I'd love to see, I wonder what the Tars pack will be this week. I wonder if they'll play, they tend to, McKellar tends to go a bigger pack for conditions. So I'll be interested to see what their pack's like this week.
I didn't mind Fergus Lee Warner back in the squad. I think his first time he really played well against the Reds. We'll see what they do. Then the boys back in Clubland, they've been really impressive as well. So we'll be hopefully see Sifa back there just off the bench to try and get it out there. But yeah, Tars Crusaders, we're locking in the Waratahs 1-12. Now, Fiji and Drua first game on Saturday at home against the Force. We'll go to you, Tino, with the first one. Who do you think's going to get it, and what's the margin?
Look, Drua, is the Force at home or Drua?
Nah, Drua at home.
I think Drua come away with this just purely on stats, nothing else. No, last week they lost to the Blues at home. But they still haven't lost to an Australian team. At like Namani Kurandrani says, as his new name is, and I'm just going with the DVC. I think it's all about the Drua at home.
All right, Alex, are we riding this one? Drua at home.
I don't know if you guys remembered this game last year. It was probably the wettest game of rugby I've ever seen in my whole life. And it was one of the shittest games of rugby I've seen in my whole life. It was a real good old-fashioned poo slinger. And I think it's going to be exactly the same. Not the weather, but the quality of rugby I don't think is going to be that great. And I think that's going to probably suit the Drua a bit better. So I'm just going to agree with Tino on this. I do think this is one that could probably go either way. It's a long flight from Perth to Fiji. Yeah. So, I think it's a tough trip. So, look, I'm going to go with Tino on this one.
Yeah. Just for the record, I would have gone the Force 1-12. They need this win to stay in touch of the top six, but we're going to lock in Drua 1-12. Now, my boys, Moana Pacifica against the Blues. Moana need this. They're at home, North Harbour Stadium. Alex, who's going to get it done, and what's the margin?
I think the Blues are going to be too strong for Moana. I think that the Blues need to start finding a bit more form at the back end of here, and I think they're just a better quality outfit. And I think they're starting to have those guys that have been injured to start the year off are starting to kind of hit some form. So I'm going to go to the Blues 1-12.
Ooh, I can't wait to clip that up once Moana win this weekend. But yeah, look, you going Blues 1-12? Did you say?
Yeah,
1-12. Tino, are you going same as Alex?
No way.
I knew it.
No way. This is Magic Moana Pacifica, Adi Sevilla, the greatest of all time, playing. I don't think in this competition, Super Rugby, name a better back three right now in the competition. Name me a better back three in this competition. That's why I'm backing Moana 1-12. Look, the Blues at home, but you know what? Moana Pacifica.
Fuck, it's down the road. Fuck me.
I don't know how the drum on the thing goes, but let's go.
I can already hear them in the 3BL speaker coming out the tunnel. I can already see it.
Let's go. Yeah, we might be in a dream world here, but yeah, me and Tino riding Moana 1-12 here. Battle of the Bridge. Blues absolutely annihilated Moana on the other side of the bridge, but hey, we're on the north side here, Bruss. Yeah, Moana 1-12, and another reminder: bet responsibly.
Would Artie Save even be in like the top 10, like outside?
Be careful what you say, mate. Oh, of all time, 100%. Yeah.
Top 5, maybe? Nah.
Yeah.
Top 5.
Mate, he's already better than Richie McCaw already, mate. Already, and he hasn't even done yet.
Pretty crazy what Sione says in the group chat about it.
Nah, that was last year. I already apologised last week. Mate, he's the best, mate. So, yeah, Moana. Lock in Moana 1-12. Now, last game, Brumbies at home against the Reds. Alex, who's going to get this one and what's the margin?
Oh, man, this is such a good game. I reckon this is a lot of Wallabies fighting for spots, I think, in different positions. So I think that makes it even that little bit more exciting. I know the Reds are our best friends. I think this could really be another one. I'm sitting on the fence again, but I'm going to go the Brumbies 1-12. I do think that they are going to struggle without Noah, but I don't think Noah's necessarily the massive bit of glue that they have in that team. I think there's a fair bit of other stuff. They've got a bit of sprinkling of magic they've got going on down there. So I'm going to go the Brumbies 1-12, but tentatively I think could go either way. Would be happy with either team winning as long as it's a good game of rugby.
Yeah. Tino, are you going Brums as well?
No, I'm going the Reds 1-12. This is a look. I don't agree. Look, I think the Brumbies got away with that last week, and I'm backing the Reds. You know, you've got McDermott, you've got Liner. There is no way that combo. That is the 9 and 10 I see wearing the gold jumper against the British Lions.
Yeah,
that's what I see. And I think, look, I'm just saying, the Reds going to pull out their magic hat again. Somehow, some way, could be a Filippo Danguni little grubber behind the post. Yeah. All I see is some magic, Reds magic coming out, and Les Kiss coming out and showing why he is going to be the coach and what he can do.
I do like Uncle Phil.
Wallabies.
I do like Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil's got a few.
I agree with Tino with Liner and Tate in the Wallabies jersey, but that jersey is going to be number 21 and 22. I'm going to go with Alex on this one. We're going to lock in the Brumbies 1-12 at home. Lock in. I think the Chiefs have the bye, so this is their chance to go for that number 1 spot. We're going to lock in the Brumbies 1-12.
This is why your multis never.
I might actually do one where we pick every other pick that the opposite pick, just in case. So
to be fair, it's usually Nems and it's Nems and then what's his name?
JT.
JT just agrees with him.
Yeah.
He wants to just, it's my friend Nems.
Oh, whoa. Clip that up. Whoa. Make sure you remember that one, boys, when you're back next week. All right. Now, Pac-4 series. USA and Canada already played 2 weeks ago. Wallaroos, Black Ferns on the weekend. Black Ferns defeated the Wallaroos 38-12 to round out round 1 of the Pac-4 series. Wallaroos looked a bit startled in the first half and took them a while to adjust to the contact. They were running real high. They were getting dominated in both attack, defense, and at the ruck. I thought it was going to be a long day, but I'll give credit to them. The second half was a lot better. Tia Hines had a bit more time in the saddle to get a bit of confidence. Her first game at 10, she's 7s. She hasn't played much 15s, but in the second half, she got a bit of confidence about it. And the girls looked a lot better in that second half, especially with Kavoa strong impact off the bench in the type 5. She was normally a back rower the last few years, and she transitioned to the front row into the engine room last year, and she's looking like she could be pushing for a starting spot. Any other takeaways from the game, boys, before we get into this weekend's game?
Look, I think the Wallaroos started on the back foot from the kickoff. That's they're playing a game possession, and the Black Ferns were heated up after that, and here they are trying to play out of their 22 from the kickoff. Like, kick the fucking thing out, get possession, get some territory, establish something, establish a foundation for your forwards to work off, for your backs to set up. But they just start off the back foot, and I was watching it and I was just like, wow. I'm just, in my opinion, And I just think if they were to if they start off the game on the front foot, getting that position, I think it could have gone a different way.
Yeah.
And Kapani needs to run off her lines. She is the X factor to that team.
Hardy.
If she picks up those short balls off lane, coming out, scooting out, and getting on the inside, or just that flat ball coming in underneath, oh man, who's stopping her?
Yeah, there was an opportunity at the start of that second half where she came off the quick ball and she hit that little short line just off the ruck, but Lane dummied, and if she given it to her, she would have went straight through, but it would have been a carbon copy of last weekend, but it didn't happen. But yeah, good point there, Tino. Any Alex?
Yeah, look, I just think Tino's pretty negative as per usual. But look, I think if you actually look at you look at this in a bigger picture thing, man, they got absolutely pumped by the Black Ferns last year.
Yeah,
and you know what? They might look like they were going that way earlier in the half, and I think probably the team of last year that they probably will let that happen again. But look, they're a pretty new side, right? So I think more time in the saddle. Look, I think they've got the potential to be a pretty good side coming up. And I think, look, it's hard when you're playing against, it's like the Wallabies, right? You're playing against the All Blacks or Black Ferns all year, every year. It's hard when that's what you got to compare to. But look, I think when we get into this, I think they're a good chance at winning a few more games in this series. And I think they're going to be pretty good come World Cup. Yeah,
good point. And I was in that. At halftime, I was like, oh, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be off the back of the last 2 years. And, mate, the girls actually showed out in inexperience too. They don't have, a lot of the girls don't have many caps under their belt, and credit to them for turning up in that second half and, almost winning the second half. That's what I'm going to say. So, we'll get into this weekend. Wallaroos face USA. USA stole this game from us. They've got our former coach as their head coach, Sione Fukafuka, doing great work there. The USA are sneaky. They almost snaked the Canadians 2 weeks ago. Who's gonna win it, and what's the margin? We'll add this to our mega multi, make it a mega multi.
Wallaroos, I think they need to step up their game. They need to start Ash Masters. They need. Look, they have it.
Yeah.
They just gotta. I want to say something positive here because Alex thinks I'm negative. No.
Whoa.
All they need is to gel. Once they gel, and once that camaraderie around them, and they start exploring options here and there, trying things, and being confident in that. Oh man, watch out! Rugby World Cup, Wallaroos are here.
All right, Tino's tentatively saying Wallaroos. Ironside, are you backing Wallaroos as well?
Yeah, I think I'll back the Wallaroos. I remember watching this game last year, and the Wallaroos really threw this game away.
Yeah,
it was a real back and forth type of game. They really threw it away. I can't remember if it might be the same one, but the 7 for America.
Yeah, she was.
She's such a pain in the ass, but you love that, right? She's just yelling and getting really American on them. I think that you need to shut her down early. I don't think she's necessarily their best player, but emotional energy is pretty second to none in all leagues in the world, men's, women's, everything. So I think that's a real key. And I think that goes back to Tino's point earlier in the pod. I think if Ash Masters starts, she actually shut her down a lot in that first half of the game last year that I watched. I think that the Wallaroos 1-12. But I think that there's some big change need to happen. But I think second game in, this is a good test for them.
Yeah. I'm going back to that game. I was also, mate, because that number 7, she was bringing that Eno, and it was Caitlin Holz's, she was only 18, 17 last year, and it was her debut game. She got in the face of Holz after she made an error, and none of the Wallaroos girls did anything to kind of support it. This is that sort of, they need to get that pack mentality. They need to get behind their youngins. And I think Ash Masters is a big one to around that. So I think the Wallaroos will sneak this one, 1-12, fingers crossed. But, mate, USA are smoky. If not, then it's going to be USA 12, 13 plus, because Alona Ma and Kelter in the centre, that's going to be that competition. So it's all dependent on the forwards. So, and USA have a good scrum. So hopefully our girls, hopefully Faliki Pohiva's back from injury, and we can get it done on home soil against the USA. Now, this is the game of the round. Canada got it done last year to win the series last year against the Black Ferns in this same spot in Christchurch. Alex, who's going to win and what's the margin?
I was hoping you wouldn't come to me first because I was really going to base this off what you guys said, because it's a tough pick, isn't it? It's probably the toughest pick of the week. Look, I'm going to go with my heart here and my half blood that runs through my veins, and a full mana, the Black Ferns here. I think they're probably a starkly different side, the Black Ferns. I think now that this Super Rugby Aupiki is in full swing. These girls are playing, more rugby. More of them are on contracts. I think the Black Ferns are hard to beat here, especially in Christchurch. I think that'll be a tough place for the Canadians to do it twice.
So Black Ferns 1 to 12.
Oh, yeah, 1 to 12. That's safe, I guess.
Tino, your thoughts, and who's going to get it?
I'm going Black Ferns just because I think they've got a strong team. Can't go past their front row. I mean, if they get on, I just don't see them losing, to be honest. Impressed for the World Cup. I don't see the Black Ferns dropping this game at all. They've just got too much talent, they've got too much drive, and they're just structurally, I think they'll beat Canada 13 plus.
All right, 13 plus. Yeah, I'll go with 13 plus as well. Just seeing Canada the last 2 weeks, it's a different squad to last year. I know they'll probably flip the bench to start because they had Menon on the bench last 2 weeks ago, and she'll definitely start. She's their tight head. That's probably one of the best in the world last year. But I think they're missing some of the key players from last year. The captain, Degudi, the one that I had with the vape in the picture that I got in trouble for the other week. She's missing. She's still out with injury. And then they had Alex Tessier at 10 instead of 12. She was just... they were missing her running game. She was just passing sort of like that link play instead of using that passing running game of hers. I think the Black Ferns got a bit startled last year. They didn't have really a plan B. They had only that one plan, and it was similar to the All Blacks 2019 World Cup semis against England. They had that one plan, and when it didn't go to plan, they looked a bit shocked and they didn't know what to do. That's what happened last year, but I think they've got a lot more to their armour. So I think the Black Ferns are going to have a very, very big win to show the English that I know they're going to be closely watching this one, to show the English that they ain't going to be easy beats like last year. So locking in the Black Ferns 12 plus or 13 plus. Now let us know your tips and your multis for the week, and let us know which picks we did horribly wrong in, and make sure you bet responsibly. Now we'll finish off with our viewers' question. It's around the Lions. Thoughts on the Lions squad and who was unlucky not to make it? Any names unlucky, and your thoughts, Alex?
Like Ryan did try to bring up in the group chat earlier in the week, couldn't give a shit. It's they're going to send out four countries worth of people, and the Wallabies are going to win 2 tests out of the 3, and we're going to win the thing. I couldn't care who they play. They can get this Henry Pollock bloke, this young kid, whatever. Wait till he comes and sees some of the big fellas we've got over here. Rob Valentini's going to put him in the ground. Couldn't give a shit. They can play anyone at 10, anyone at 12, anyone in the front row. We're going to smoke them. We've got Angus Bell, best prop in the world. We've got some of the best players in the world at the moment. Joseph Suwali, my boy, he's going to be coming in outside centre, running over him. Mario Toje, one of the most overrated second rowers, captain. Whoa. Poms, mate, whatever. Takes them. They need to get 4 countries together for them to beat us, mate. Couldn't give a shit.
Whoa. Standing strong there. Tittle, are you on the same vibe, or?
Look, you can't not take the British Irish not seriously. There is a lot of history behind those 4 countries. And yes, it is for bragging rights. I think what the Super Rugby has shown us this year is, we could even beat the All Blacks. That's my prediction. That is how good we have been playing. And I think the British and Irish Lions coming over, there'll be a big test for us for that. And I don't know if there was anyone that I didn't like that's not in the team. I mean, you got half of Ireland in there.
Yeah.
And then, there's only a few Scottish players. I think 4 maybe, and 2 or 3 Welsh players. So,
2 Welsh.
Yeah.
They were lucky to get 2. They were lucky to get
a test match, I reckon.
I think it's the team that they've produced is pretty much, who's been playing well in that UPC game. A lot of them come from
URC. Come on, mate. UPC.
Oh, URC. Sorry.
United Polynesian Community.
If there's Northern Hemisphere people watching it, these guys don't give a right. UPC.
Whatever. NPC. But look, I think it's exciting to see them come down under again.
Yeah, people were raving on about Prendergast, that he was unlucky to make it, but I think Finn Smith showed in that semi-final the other week that why he got that spot. Pollock, only fresh into pro rugby after under 20s last year, mate. After when he scored that try against Leinster, you had to put him in there. He looks a bit of a cocky one, and hopefully he'll be that number 1. But I don't think he'll be that number 1. There'll be Tom Curry. He'll get a few games here and there against the super teams, and maybe off the bench against the Wallabies if they lose that first game. But mate, I'm just excited for Mac Hansen and Sione Tupulotu to make it. So it'll be good to see, and just hopefully our staff, our selectors pick the best out of everyone in the world, all the Aussies in the world. I think we need a hooker from overseas. I still feel like if BPA is not back fresh, if we still got all these injuries, then we're going to need some hookers overseas. So
who would you pick?
Folau
Who would
Fainga'a.
you pick as a hooker?
I'll make sure Folau doesn't play for Tonga. He looks fit over there now. He's fitter than what he was here. I'd have Folau in there. I can't think of any other hookers overseas that would be up to Wallabies.
Your type 5. Who will be your type 5 right now in the Wallabies?
Okay,
type 5.
We'll go 1, obviously Angus Bell.
Yep.
2, I'll go BPA at 2.
BPA. If he's fit, BPA, I think.
BPA. And then 3, damn, that's a hard one, 3. I'd have Nilla on the bench. 3, I like both.
I'll have Allen.
I forgot about Allen. Yeah. I'd have Allen at 3.
Allen.
And your 2 locks. I think we've got a lot of locks. I don't know if we need locks from overseas now that the boys are playing well. But I'll still have...
Who would you be your lock? No,
I'd still have Skelton, even though I just said I wouldn't have any from overseas. I'd have Skelton behind the tight head, just merely for scrum time and around the park to doof some boys. But I'd have him, and then probably Frosty or Cannon from the Reds.
I think Frosty, in my opinion, has to start.
Yeah.
I think he's probably been the most consistent.
Yeah.
I reckon this might be one of our most consistent forwards in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Since he's had a crack.
So yeah, that's our top 5.
It's not often we have a lot of second rowers to debate about, to be honest. So that's good. That rings well.
But it's so good. Like, you got Cannon coming through. He's asking for it, so he's putting his hand. You got Darcy Swain back coming. He's knocking on that door again. So
Jeremy Williams.
It's a hard one.
I like Swain
Jeremy Williams
because he's really, when he got that red card in his first game, that was me done with him. But I wanted to have another crack.
And then we've got Matt. What's his name from Norths? Blondie. He's been in Japan.
Matt Phillips.
Matt Phillips.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got a lot of stock there. So we'll see. But
I think look, just observation. I just think it's going to be a test of the type 5s in this series.
Yeah.
Just being the British Irish Lions, being the gameplay that they play. It's going to be one of the set pieces.
Yeah, Lex said.
I'm pretty confident for what we've got.
You said 2 out of 3. I reckon we'll win all 3. That's how confident I am in our boys and our depth at the moment. I know that's a bit fast stretch, but I think the Lions will probably get a few injuries in those first few games against the super teams. And then there's that combined series where I think our coaches get the opportunity to see who's playing well, Aussies overseas. So I think we might even see someone like Pete Summel try and get his opportunity there, and if he does well into the Wallabies.
That was going to be my next question.
Your next.
What was that?
You talk about that Australia New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to that. That'll be good.
How good, mate. How good, mate. How good. But yeah, that's us. That's our 45 minutes up. Make sure you like and subscribe. And before we go, shout outs. Tino, who's your shout out for the week?
Shout out to the fans of Moana Pacifica. Make sure you get your tickets. Make sure you sell that crowd out.
Let's go.
Bring the vibes, bring the energy. Let's rizz it up and skibbity like the Gen Z these days, whatever that means.
Yeah, let's go. And Alex, shout out.
Quick shout out to Waratahs, but I didn't touch on this earlier. But quick shout out to our bestest of friend Charlie Gamble.
Yeah.
I think he probably broke a lot of women's hearts when he did it.
And boys.
And boys. Especially two people in this group, in this podcast currently, probably three. Little soft launch. Maybe that's where this little form's coming from.
Yeah.
Little few less late nights out at Public Bar in Bondi, and maybe a few nights in cuddling on the couch watching maths. So quick shout out to the Tars and our boy Gamble.
Yeah, shout out to Gamble, mate. Cute little double matching marches, cutie. Nice. Make sure you like and subscribe, guys. We'll see you next week. And good luck to Moana. Let's go.
See you, boys.
All right, thanks, boys.